Karishma Das, and today for our beloved Orario students, I am going to introduce you to the world of biology. So, the first unit you can find in your 9th standard textbook is Protectors of Biosphere. So, before we get into the chapter, what is a biosphere? So, I will say like for example, the place we live, it can be our homes or our workspace or anywhere, it can be called as a biosphere, including all the living and non-living parts, portions, the stones, bricks, the soil, the plants, the animals, the microscopic organisms, the water, everything. It can be called as a biosphere of that person. Like for example, here this can be called as my biosphere, the place where I live in or where I spend my time. So, protectors of biosphere. Our country's territory is protected by our defense forces. Just like that, our environment is also protected by certain systems. Maybe for example, microbes help in decomposition. Just like that, one of the most prominent protective mechanism of our biosphere is done by our plants. So, our microbes found in our environment helps in a protective mechanism by helping in decomposition or by breaking down complex substances into simpler form. That's what decomposition is meant. Just like that, the most prominent protective mechanism of our environment is done by plants. So, here I have drawn a flow chart. So, the plant is the most prominent part. Plants, what do? They for respiration in plants, just like that, we know that when humans respire, we take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide, that is CO2. When it comes to plants, it is in the reverse form. They respire by taking in carbon dioxide. They take the carbon dioxide inside and give out oxygen and glucose. So, the oxygen that they give out is used up by us animals for respiration, and the glucose also can be used up by various animals including human beings for food. Like cows eat green leaves, so they are using up this glucose, and the oxygen the plants given are also used up by us. So, next, since the chapter focuses more on plants, let us go into deeper part of plants and how this respiration is like conducted. Okay, let us take a leaf. Here we are speaking about plants as protectors of our biosphere. So, what are the colors of plants? Mostly we see green plants, then we have other colors too. But when it comes to animals, especially human, we don't have such colors, and like I have said before, plants give out oxygen. So, did we really have a thought on how this process occurs? First, let us take a brief look into green plants. When we studied about cell and plant cell in 8th standard, we have learned that plant cell has a specific part or specific organelle that is different from animal cell. That was the chloroplast. So, here chloroplast plays a major role in this process. So, chloroplasts are the pigments that give green color, that it contains the pigments that give green color or any kind of color to our plants. So, what are the pigments that can be present in plants? The pigments can be chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, carotene and xanthophylls. These give different colors like orange and other colors you can see in plant products. Mainly we are focusing on green plants. So chlorophyll A is the pigmentation that gives green color to our plants, and chloroplasts contain these green pigments. So let us look into the process on how oxygen is produced by green plants. This process of producing oxygen and glucose by taking in carbon dioxide, it is called as, that chemical process is called as photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. So this photosynthesis can be simply represented by using a chemical equation. As I have said before, plants take in carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide can be represented as CO2, as it is a compound of carbon and oxygen. Then carbon dioxide, it combines with, just like human beings need water, plants also require water. Here I have shown sunlight, the one thing that is most essential for the plants to provide, to produce oxygen and glucose, or in other words to produce or prepare their food, is sunlight. So in the presence of light, this reaction takes place, and also using chlorophyll. Chlorophyll pigment is necessary to produce. I have said before, plants take in carbon dioxide to produce oxygen and also glucose. The chemical formula of glucose is C6H12O6, and this oxygen and glucose that plants produce are used by other animals. So once again, plants in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll pigments make use of carbon dioxide produced by animals and present in the atmosphere, and water present in the atmosphere and the soil that it lives in the presence of light and chlorophyll, once again, to produce oxygen that is taken up by animals when it is let out into the atmosphere, and glucose which is also further taken in by animals. So this is simply the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, why this term photosynthesis comes, because here in this chemical process, photo means light, and since this reaction takes place in the presence of sunlight, it is hence called as photosynthesis. So that's all about photosynthesis and how it helps in protecting the biosphere. Now we have seen like several environmental uprising and how people are stressing on the need for planting more trees, and basically this is the concept why we need more trees and greener surroundings to help maintain the balance in our ecosystem. So that's all about this section. So beforehand, last year you would have studied how to prepare a plant cell slide. So here I am showing how a plant cell arrangement will look like when we observe it through a slide. So as we can see, just like we have skin, the plants also do have an outer layer, and it is called as epidermis. Then inside it has a typical cellular arrangement. Here we have the neighboring cellular arrangement. To learn more in your higher class, you would learn detailed description about all these things. Then we have a vascular tissue. Vascular tissue, just like we have nerves and other things to conduct materials through our body, the vascular tissue conduct fluid, that is water, gases and other materials through a plant. So then when it comes to this epidermis, you can see a small opening, two kidney shaped cells and a small opening here. This is the stomata, and it helps in selective diffusion of materials that is required for a photosynthesis process. So this is basically the structure of a cross-sectional slide view of a plant's cell arrangement. We have an epidermis, a vascular tissue, a stomata which is an opening for diffusion, selective diffusion of materials. That's all about plant cell arrangement. So I have said before, just like human respire, plants also respire, and it has certain biological actions taking place within itself, and it is called as photosynthesis. I have also said about certain pigments that help in photosynthesis like chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, xanthophyll and carotene. So here we are primarily focusing on chlorophyll A mainly. So chlorophyll A, like in previous portion, like last year when you learned about plant cell, what that differentiates plant cell from animal cell is plant cell has double membrane bound, and it also has certain pigments called as chloroplast which contains chlorophyll, which provides green color to or respective color to the plant leaves, and the structure of that chloroplast or that organelle called as chloroplast is like this. So the semi-fluid area is called as, it is first of all double membrane bound just like other organelles. So within that it has a semi-fluid like area called as stroma, and it has a certain like coin like layer arranged one above the another called as grana. So this it has basically a simple structure. It is double membrane bound, it has a semi-fluid stroma, and it has a grana. That's all about chloroplast, and here it is. Next we are going to see a detailed functioning or mechanism of photosynthesis. Basically I have said beforehand when I told about the diagram of chloroplast, it contains two main parts, stroma and grana. And just like that, photosynthesis consists of two phases, light phase and dark phase, which occurs at two different parts of our chloroplast. So first let us take a look into the light phase. So here grana is like a coin like structure of a chloroplast which is arranged in a stack like manner. So inside the grana our light phase take place, and using the light that is obtained from sunlight, I have said sunlight is essential for photosynthesis. So using the light we already have H2O, otherwise known as water, which is a compound of hydrogen and oxygen. So the using light, the water molecules which the plants take in through soil via conduction through the minute rootlets of or roots of plants, the water which is taken in and conducted and which reach the leaves, that water is broken down using light into hydrogen and oxygen, and this oxygen goes back into the atmosphere, and the hydrogen that is taken in, and we already have light energy from sunlight. This light energy is used to convert into chemical energy and produce ATP molecules. ATP is known as the energy currency of any cell, be it plant cell or animal cell. ATP is also known as adenosine triphosphate, tri because it contains 3 phosphate molecules or 3 phosphate atoms. Now this is the light phase. Now I have said that in chloroplast there is another part called as stroma. So inside the stroma the dark phase happens, and in dark phase what actually happens is we already here in light phase the light has broken down the water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen, and this hydrogen is present here, and in dark phase this hydrogen and the carbon dioxide that plants take in through our atmosphere via diffusion. Through beforehand when I drew the structure of a plant cell, there was a tiny opening called as stomata. Through the stomata selective diffusion takes place. Diffusion, what it actually means is for example I have at least 10 apples with me and you have just 5. So since I have more, I give you 3 more apples to you. That's exactly what happens in plant leaves through diffusion. Diffusion via stomata of plant cell. In diffusion, what happens is from a region of higher concentration, that is atmosphere has more carbon dioxide than inside the cell. So, diffusion takes place, and from region of higher concentration it comes into a region of lower concentration, that is inside the plant leaf cells. So, that carbon dioxide combines with the hydrogen that is produced during light reaction within the grana. It happens in stroma. That hydrogen combines with carbon dioxide to produce glucose, which also provides a form of energy. In the dark reaction, ATP, I have said before, it is known as energy currency of the cell. So, this ATP, some energy from this ATP is used here, and like that energy is also used for this like reaction, dark reaction, and this hydrogen from light reaction produced in grana will combine with carbon dioxide obtained through diffusion using ATP to produce glucose, which has the chemical formula C6H12O6. This is basically the processes that happens during photosynthesis within plant leaves, and in here always light reaction precedes the dark reaction, or otherwise light reaction happens first and then the dark reaction happens, and there is a constant transfer of energy. Here ATP is the energy currency. It is used up here and it produces ADP, and this cyclic process go on happening, and ATP gets converted to ADP. ADP means adenosine diphosphate, which just have 2 phosphate atoms. ATP gets converted to ADP and ADP back to ATP, and this is the cyclic reaction that happens during photosynthesis. And this dark reaction was first within the plants were first like observed by a scientist named as Melvin Calvin, and this process is also known as Calvin cycle. So, to know about the detailed steps and processes that happens during Calvin cycle, you will learn it in further higher classes on how the dark reaction happens. Basically, the photosynthesis consists of 2 steps like light cycle and the dark cycle. Light cycle happens first, then the dark cycle happens. So, that's all about the first and most prominent section of your first unit, protectors of biosphere. So, in this unit we have most commonly discussed about one of the most prominent protectors of our biosphere, that is our plants, and the process that happens, or the exchange process that happens within the plants, which is known as photosynthesis. The major difference between plants and animals is, while animals breathe, they take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide, but when it comes to plants, they take in carbon dioxide and give out oxygen. So, we have discussed the equation for photosynthesis, that is how water, carbon dioxide and light is used in the process of chlorophyll pigment to produce glucose and oxygen. Then we have discussed further about chloroplast pigment, the pigment that causes, or the organelle that gives colors to plants, and that further we have discussed its structure like grana and stroma. Then later towards the end we have discussed about 2 types of cycles that happen during photosynthesis, that is dark cycle and light cycle, how it happens within grana and stroma, and how light cycle happens first followed by the dark cycle, or dark cycle also known as Calvin cycle. This is all about our part on section on photosynthesis. So, that's all for this section, and to clarify your doubts you could inbox, and see you for the next class.